I'm starting a new series on my channel. Usually I call this testing new makeup, but we're calling it new makeup, real impressions. And I bought some new makeup, guys, so I'm going to slap it on my face. I also was sent some exciting stuff in PR, so let's dive in. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I'm actually celebrating my 14-year YouTube anniversary next week, so I'm thinking I might do a Q&A. Leave me some feedback on your thoughts. What do you think? Should I do it? I haven't done one in forever. Honestly, I don't even really know if anybody's that interested in what I have to say, but I figured I'd throw it out there, see what you guys think. If you aren't subscribed already, we're 50 subscribers away from 14K. I feel like I've been trying to hit 14K for like the last 2 years, so if you aren't subscribed, please do your girl a solid and hit that subscribe button. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and put on some makeup. Let's paint this face. So I have a pile here and I'm so excited. I got so many fun new goodies. So we have to start off with the base though. And I wasn't going to get this, but it came to Ulta and I was able to pick it up in store at my local Ulta. So I decided to go ahead and do it. And this is the new e.l.f. skin tint and it's called the e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint. I got it in the shade 10, which is tan neutral, and I will link as many things as I can down below. I definitely thought this looked way smaller in person. It looks so much bigger online, and I'm trying to see how many ounces of product is in here. So it is 1 fluid ounce. Really interesting packaging. It's kind of like pinched up here, or maybe mine's just dented. It could just be that mine's dented. I like that it has an expiration date. So it says this is going to expire 2027. So that's handy information to have. I have nothing on my face right now except for some Smashbox primer. I'm trying to pan this guy. So I've been trying to use that up a ton. But I want to try this out. I'm super curious. I've kind of been on like a skin tint journey with the summer. And so I thought, let me try this one from e.l.f. It was sort of affordable. I think it retails for $18. And then, you know, Ulta has that coupon where if you spend $15, you get $3 off. So I used that and I had in-store pickup. So I just drove to my Ulta and picked it up there. And yeah, it's just like a fun way to save some money on it if you're interested in picking it up at Ulta. But it's super glowy. The shade is a little bit light, but I like to pick a neutral shade. I don't usually like to pick a warm shade when I have the option of picking a neutral. It's almost kind of hard to believe that this is the tan shade, isn't it? Like, it kind of looks really light. I still have my little bruise from getting my wisdom teeth out. Was that 2 weeks ago already? But I wanted to give you guys an update because I feel like I haven't really said anything, but seems like it's going well. I haven't had any issues. I do feel like a little bit nervous when I chew like rice and stuff because I feel like that part of my mouth, the back part, is a little raw still, but honestly it's been really healing up quite well and I'm done with my ibuprofens and yeah, so far so good. So it's been a good thing and haven't really been using the side of my mouth yet, but I haven't had any sensitivity that I've noticed to the cold or anything, which I was feeling previously. So I'll keep you guys updated as time goes by. But I just wanted to show you guys. So this is the side width. As you can see, it's quite glowy. And it's still drying down. So I'll keep you guys posted about that. But it looks like it's definitely evening out my complexion. Yeah, you can still see on the side without the foundation, there is like some blemishes. But on this side, it looks quite evened out. I feel like if you have a lot of skin texture, this might really like put a spotlight on that, but I know some people don't mind it because they love the glow. So some of the claims on this is it has SPF 50, it's water resistant up to 80 minutes, 18 flexible shades, 6 shade families with 3 undertones each. This serum-like skin tint delivers light, buildable coverage plus non-nano zinc Oxide Mineral SPF 50. The lightweight hydrating formula sinks in like you have skincare for a barely there feel and naturally glowing complexion infused with niacinamide plus bisabolol and alanine, water resistant. Shake well, then apply using fingertips or the Halo Glow ankle silicone sponge. Apply more to build to your preference of coverage. Okay, so yeah, I think I followed all the instructions. I wanted to use a brush with a skin tint because I think it just applies a little more opaque. Like, I feel like if you want to share it out, sponge is the way to go. I don't usually like to apply my makeup with my finger, so I always have to use a brush or a sponge. But you know, you never know. I guess I can't say I'm never gonna do it. Maybe someday I'll get around to using my finger, but for now I'm definitely a brush gal. It definitely feels a little SPF-y. It's very, very glowy. This is honestly just like a little too glowy for me, but I also feel like my skin has been so dry recently that maybe it's not the end of the world. And I kind of bought this because I'm really curious to wear it throughout the summer. So I feel like this is eventually going to make it into my Shop My Stash. Speaking of Shop My Stash, I recently posted my May-June Shop My Stash. So if you haven't seen it, check it out if you're a Shop My Stash person. That video for me never really gets a lot of views, but it's something I do. So I figured I might as well share it with you guys. So for concealers, I have one that I've used a long time ago. This was on sale during Labor Day weekend at Sephora, so I picked it up because I wanted to give it another go. And then I grabbed the Skin Ink from L'Oreal, and this is in the shade Warm 290. So I was really curious about this because it basically made it sound like it was gonna last through like a snowstorm, and so I had to see for myself. So this retails for $18.99. That's the same price I think as the e.l.f. Skin Tint. And it says this is a foundation concealer, has up to 48-hour wear, yet is light as ink, transfer resistant, waterproof, sweat proof, and humidity proof. So that's really interesting. And I think I'm going to use this one. I was going to use half and half, but I think I'm just going to use this one. And I can already tell you guys this shade is very warm, very yellow. So we'll see how it blends out. But I'm going to just use this little brush from Zoeva that I've had forever. And then I think I'm going to blend everything with the sponge afterwards, but I just want to apply it. The shade really kind of put me off because it looks so yellow, but maybe it's just me being in my head. So here's the side with it blended in. Here's the side without it blended in, so maybe you guys can tell a difference. And then let me just go ahead and blend this out, and then I'm going to blend everything together with my sponge just to kind of make sure everything's nice and blended. I don't want to say the e.l.f. skin tint made my skin a little tingly, but it definitely feels a little tingly like you put on some skincare. So I'm just making an observation about that, but I'm just using this Shop My Stash sponge to kind of press everything into my skin, and then I'm going to hop off camera and put on some eyeshadow primer and do my brows really quick. And then I don't think I have a new bronzer to try out either. So I'll probably just put all those three things on, and then I'll come back because we've got a lot of blush and lip balms and all the things to test out. So we'll do that. Okay, so I zoomed you in because I'm going to do my eyeshadow next. But I want to tell you guys, because I was looking at my foundation or the skin tint in the mirror, and I feel like it did dry down quite decently. So if you were a little bit scared of the glow that you were seeing on my face, because I definitely was, I will say it definitely looks a little more toned down, and I didn't put any powder on yet. I just put on my bronzer and my, I think that was it. I just put on bronzer and of course eyeshadow primer on my brows. So something to keep in mind if you're a little bit nervous like I was. And I did put on my eyeshadow primer. I'm going to do like a blue and a purple eye, just kind of something fun and to try out a lot of the shades in the new Danessa Myricks palette, but this is my eyeshadow base. I just use the color case from Made by Mitchell, and I use the shades. I use this pink one called Hushed, and I use Blue Jam. So those are the two shades that I use, and I've been getting quite a bit of use out of this because I've been trying to be more bold and use colorful bases instead of just using my Sigma Ignite eyeshadow primer. Speaking of Sigma, they did send over the new Angela Bright eye brush set. So Angela Bright has a favorite set with Sigma. She has an eyeshadow palette with Sigma, and now we have a brush set. And I'm so excited. So on the back here, it says, throughout my years of creating eyeshadow tutorials, I've always relied on Sigma beauty brushes for their quality and precision. Now having the opportunity to design my own set, I've created 6 essential eye brushes that I use to create any look. This set has everything you need to apply, blend, and perfect your eye makeup. So we have a AB1, which is a base for applying cream or liquid products around the eye area to prep eye for eyeshadow. Okay, so I should have used that one. I know I saw a bigger brush that looked like it would be really great for eyeshadow primer, but I was like, I don't want to ruin a brush with this cream product yet, so I didn't dig into this, but let's see here. So I love the ferrules of these. These are usually the ferrules they have for their Pride Month eye brush sets that they do. I've seen they've done like a mini eye brush set with the same packaging, but now we have these full-size brushes, and since it is Pride Month, I don't know if they kept that in mind when they picked these rainbow brush handles, but either which way, I love it so much because you guys know I'm a sucker for colors, and these look so pretty. Okay, so this is the AB1, which I guessed it would be this one. So this is the one that she recommended for eyeshadow bases. I could also see you using this for concealer, so something to keep in mind. And then we have AB2, which is a fluffy blending brush. So clearly I'm so prepared here. AB2 looks like this. Okay, so this is a big old blending brush that I'm sure will come in handy today. And then we have AB3, which is a crease brush. So I love brushes like this. This looks very much like their E25 brush, which I always keep on hand. So here is a E25 Max. And this one is a little bit more tapered. Let me see if I can find here we go. This is a new E25. Yeah, these look pretty much identical, except it's called a AB3 in this set instead. So there you can see the AB4, which is a shader. So that must be this one, which honestly looks like a smaller E25. So kind of like the E27, I would say. And then we have the AB5, which is a small blending brush. These are always so handy for detail blending. And then I am a sucker for a good pencil brush. So this is the AB6, which is a small detail brush. It says this precisely places eyeshadow on a smaller part of the eye, like the inner corner, brow bone, or the lash line. So I do love these types of brushes for that. And like I said, we do have the Angela Bright eyeshadow palette. Sigma did send me a brand new one, so I might include that in an upcoming giveaway because I did keep mine throughout my eyeshadow palette collection video. I did do a little declutter in that one, but this one definitely survived, and it's a really pretty palette. It's colorful, but we've got some great neutrals, and yeah, this is her palette. So I'm sure they're re-promoting that as well. So I will definitely leave my Sigma link and my discount code down below in case you want to shop anything on the Sigma site. And yeah, now let's go ahead and get into a little look. So my idea was to do an eye look with these two and an eye look with these two, and then maybe swap sides, but we'll see how it pans out. I'm going to start off with the AB3, and I'm just going to take this blue matte shade and I'm just going to pack it on top here. So I did grab the rest of my, oh my gosh, wait, I forgot to tell you about this palette. So let me just show you guys close-ups and swatches. I will say that I grabbed this at Sephora. It was out of stock. I think it launched as like an app exclusive or like a Rouge exclusive. And I wasn't going to buy it because I was like, pastels, you know. But now with this being sold out, like it's been so long since a palette just like sold out at Sephora. So I know my other friends grabbed it and I was like feeling a little bit of FOMO, but I was like, whatever. But now with the tariffs, y'all, I'm like genuinely wondering like, what's it gonna be like? Is it gonna be so expensive to buy makeup that people are gonna be decluttering less? They're gonna be using what they love more and trying to hold on to things and just love and rework the palettes they have. So I feel like it's been so long since something sold out at Sephora, and after talking to my friends, I figured let me grab it. So this palette retails for $48 and it is cruelty free. And it says it's a 6-shade multi-chrome all over mini face palette featuring foil, flake, metallic shimmers and color accurate soft mattes. And yeah, I'm super pumped about this. So I do have the original Freedom palette. I don't know if this is in stock on the Danessa Myricks website. I know it's gone off the Sephora site, but this is some of the coolest makeup packaging ever. This was quite a pricey palette, but I had to get it. And of course, you'll see if you know, I'm going to try and be careful here, but basically these pop out. And so you can transport them like this as a individual palette. And then the top of this does come out like this because it's all magnetic. So this part comes out and you can just take this palette on the go if you just like that. All of these are magnetized so you can rework them however you want. And then we have this one. So this goes right on top of here. And then if I wanted to, let's say, take out this little section, like the purple section, I could do that. And then I can take this palette here and just go like this and rework the palette. So now we have some mattes and some fun shimmers. So it's a really cool concept. I remember back in the day, there were other brands that had palettes like this where you could like customize them a little bit more. But the trend kind of comes and goes, right? And so I feel like now a lot of brands are coming out with like full palettes instead of singles and like more custom options. So it was really fun to see Danessa Myricks do that. And so I wasn't really drawn to these 6 shades, but I was like, let me just grab it because I feel like with makeup prices going the way they're going, I just don't know if we'll really be able to buy a lot of indie makeup, especially from overseas. Luckily, there's a lot of really great indie brands in the US, but I am really nervous for how I'm gonna afford anything from overseas. Anyways, I just blended that on. I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard to tell how pigmented these shadows are since I have the eyeshadow base on, but I'm just taking the same brush with the shimmer and I'm gonna spray it, of course, because I always do that with my shimmers. And I want to see how this applies. Ooh, that's so pretty. So I've just been doing easy looks like this. I've been trying not to complicate my eyeshadow looks because I feel like I'm one of those people that I'll try so hard to like deepen things up. And with pastels, I feel like it just works better if I keep it simple. And so that's all I'm going to do. Literally, I'm just going to leave it like that. And of course, we're going to do the lower lash line. But I was thinking I'll do like a purple under eye here and a blue under eye here just to tie it together. We'll see how that'll all work out. But for this side, I'm going to just take another Sigma brush because I don't want to dirty up my little one. And I'm going to go into the purpley shade and I'm just going to do the same thing I did on this side. I'm just going to set it with the matte. I really have a feeling that if I didn't have this base down, I don't know that these eyeshadows would look as vibrant, the mattes at least, on my eyelids. Although I would say you want to use a colorful base or a white base or something just to make it all work out together. I'm trying to put it on where I don't have the eyeshadow base as much and I feel like it's just not pulling as vibrant as it does on top of the eyeshadow base, but I feel like that's to be expected, and I low-key bought this more for the shimmer shades. So I'm going to grab Angela's AB4, and I'm going to go into the shimmery shade, really digging into it because honestly it looks like one of those really pretty shades that'll foil really well. And we're going to spray, 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 and ooh, I really like this shade. That is such a pretty shimmer shade. The blue one, I feel like a little less exciting, but the purple one, oh, that's absolutely stunning. Okay, I really like this so far. So I'm going to line the lower lash line quick and then we'll finish up the looks on camera. Okay, so I used the blue eyeliner on this side, purple eyeliner on this side, and now I'm going to take the blue shadow and I'm going in with the Angela Bright number 5. This is a detail blending brush and we're just going to run that as close to the waterline as we can. Okay. Pigment's coming through. I like it. And then I'm just going to take that same brush and wipe it off a little bit. And then we're going to use the mauvey purpley side on this side. And we're just going to blend, 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 blend. I feel like a unicorn. I love it. Oh my gosh, I almost went in with the dirty brush on the wrong eye. Okay, so I was thinking for inner corner, I might just use, I was going to use one of the shades in the palette, but I think that might be a bad idea. So I'm actually going to dip into my highlighter. I'm going in with this NARS highlighter. Actually I have a third highlighter to try today. I forgot. But yeah, let's use the NARS one on the inner corner. I have a new highlighter to try out today. I almost forgot it. A little bit in the brow bone as well. My brows need to get done. Okay, I really like it so far. So that is the eye look. I'm gonna throw on mascara and stuff afterwards, but let's go ahead and play with blush and highlighter next. So of course I've been so good at my job and I bought so many blushes, so many highlighters. This is the highlighter I want to test out today, but I have 2 blushes and they're both from Dior. So I thought, let me go ahead and put one on one side and the other on the other side just to try it out and see. So this is the Dior blush stick, the cream blush stick. I think I've seen so many people already show this off in videos and shorts and reels and stuff like that. But, you know, I've just been trying to slowly make my way through everything. Now this is pricey, y'all. It's $44. I got it in the shade Cherry, which is a cherry red. And it says, in just one swipe, this long-lasting, buildable, and creamy stick blush format of Rosy Glow delivers pH-activated custom color with a natural, dewy, glowy finish. So let's go and see. I don't know what pH has to do with it because it already has a color. But I'm just going to tap a bit on my face like that. And then I'm going to grab this brush. And I'm just going to go in easy. I don't know if you guys saw my Lethal Cosmetics video, but that pH blush, it never really like pH activated. I mean, it did, but it had like a light like black cast to it. I don't know what I did wrong there, but after that, I'm just like a little bit traumatized by pH blushes, but that looks cute. It has like a slight fragrance to it, which is interesting. So yeah, that is the blush stick from Dior that I purchased with my own money. And then of course I had to be an overachiever and I had to get a Dior powder blush. So I grabbed this one and this is in the shade Toffee. And Toffee actually sold out on Sephora. So I ended up buying it at Ulta, which is perfectly fine because Ulta did actually package this well. Now I am a little bit nervous about the shade because it does look a little bit light, but I like took my chances with this. So this is the shade Toffee, which is described as a pearlescent nude beige. This retails for $40. And I just wanted to grab my previous Dior blushes. So I have a bunch of the previous shades in the old packaging, and then this is the new. So here's just a little comparison. So they went from rectangular to square. I know, revolutionary. But let's go ahead and apply this on this side. We'll see if it even works with my skin tone because I was really not sure. So there's the pigmentation. Okay, so it's very subtle. It almost looks like I'm powdering my face. Okay, there's definitely like a gold sheen to it. I don't know how I feel about this. So it definitely lives up to the pearlescent situation. It's very, 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 very subtle. So keep that in mind. So this is the blush cream stick side, and then this is the powder side. So hard to say. I don't really know if I'm noticing anything, but there's that. And then this is the Glow La La Benefit Velvet Gleam highlighter, and I got it in the shade Nova. And I don't know what it is about these new Benefit products, but I was so curious. So it says, "Ooh la la, are you wearing Glow La La? Sweep this velvety powder effortlessly onto cheeks for a light, reflecting, gleaming finish." And this retails for $38. I picked mine up at Ulta, and this is what it looks like. I honestly feel like this Angela Bright brush would be perfect for that, but let's use a more traditional highlighter brush. So I'm just going to use this one from Sigma, and it feels like it's a little bit of a creamy highlight. Oh yeah, that. Oh gosh, I think I went on with too much, but oh, she is glowy. This one works really well with my skin tone because it's like a really pretty champagne color. It kind of reminds me of Champagne Pop, honestly, from Becca. It's been so long since I thought of that highlighter, but that was really smooth. It's really similar to the shimmer that was in that Rosy Glow blush, so I think it kind of like took over. But oh, that's gonna be a great highlighter for the summertime. I think of all three that I've tried recently, so I got this one, the NARS one, and then I got the Prada one. I think I really like the shade of the Benefit one the best. I really like the shine of the NARS one, and the Prada one, honestly, I feel like I just bought it because it was Prada, so I could say that I had a Prada highlighter, but I'm not really sure if I needed to spend $90 on that. And then last but certainly not least, since it is the year of lip balms and lip treatments, I have two with me. I got the Summer Fridays Guava, and I got this one from Dior. I couldn't help it. I saw these in store, and honestly, I kind of thought they looked cheap. But tell me if you don't see somebody buying these, and then once they're done with it, taking the little charm off and then like turning them into like earrings or a necklace. I could totally see that happening. But I grabbed the lip balm from Dior in the shade Toffee, and then Milk Makeup also sent me their new Pomade Electrolyte lip balms, and they sent me all the shades. And usually I don't get Milk Makeup PR, you guys, but holy shit, I'm so excited about that. So I'm gonna film that in a reel, but for this video I'm going to use the Dior lip balm because I'm so curious. And this retails for $42, which is insane. It's definitely the most expensive one. So it says it's a hybrid gloss lip formula with a buttery texture that provides intense hydration and subtle high shine color, available in 5 juicy shades. I was going to use a lip liner, but honestly I just kind of want to see what the hype is, so let's just give it a little squeezy squeeze. Okay. The applicator is lovely. It has like a little minty taste to it. It looks glossy. It feels hydrating. I wish this shade was a little bit more pigmented, but this was the only like nude color they had. The other shades they have like a lavender, which I wasn't gonna wear, a iridescent pink. There was a berry that was a black cherry that's a brownish red. I don't really want that much pigmentation on my lips. And then we have lychee, which was a luminous fuchsia. So I went with toffee, and it looks like this. So yeah, I'm really doing the no lip balm looks these days, but I think the look is pretty much done. I'm going to throw on some mascara, find some earrings, and I'll be right back to give you guys my first impressions on all the new makeup that we tried out today. Okay, friends, I had so much fun putting this look together. I feel like an ice cream. I feel like a cotton candy, and I hope you guys like the look. I want to tell you everything that's on my face today, and then let's get into real impressions on these new makeup releases. I think I only used 2 things that I already own today, and that was my Physicians Formula, this little glow contour wand, and the Dior bronzer in the shade 40. So those are 2 things that I already own that I used in today's makeup look. Everything else I'm pretty sure was new, other than like eyeshadow primer and stuff. So let's start off with the skin tint from e.l.f. So this is the new Halo Glow Skin Tint, and it's under 20 bucks, and it comes in a variety of different shades. I have the shade 10, which is tan neutral, and I do feel like it's a little bit light on me, but I'm very excited about this because I was really nervous with it being the Halo Glow line that it was going to be too glowy. I have very dry skin, and I prefer like a matte finish or a natural finish when it comes to my foundations. And so a lot of skin tints look a lot dewier. I'm not really sure if that's just how they're made, but many of the skin tints I try look a lot dewier on me. So I'm very happy with this one though. It might be a good skin tint option at the drugstore. I'm really loving the look of this. So far so good. Of course, I'm gonna do a wear test at some point and wear it for a longer period of time. Right now, I did my makeup because I'm going to film my new makeup releases video, which should be live on my channel already by the time you're seeing this video. But so far, I'm excited about this. It's one of the more affordable options as far as skin tints go. And then the concealer, I'm not 100% sure about. I think my under eyes look fine, but I've really been enjoying the Tier concealer that I picked up. And I think these are pretty close in price, and I've been wearing this one quite a bit. So I'll keep you guys posted on this one. It's my first time wearing it, and it is a drugstore concealer, but it's also pretty much the same price as the skin tint, so that's something to think about. But it's supposed to be very long wearing, so I'll give it a chance. I think the fact that the color was so warm really threw me off when I was applying it, but once I blended it under my eyes, I think it looks okay. The other thing is I did not put any powder on my face. Usually I powder under my eyes, but I didn't do that, so I don't know. I feel like it looks nice and matte. I'm not trying to test out how long wearing the products are though, so I figured I didn't really need a powder. Do with that information whatever you will. Next, we have to talk about these Sigma brushes. This is a collab with Angela Bright, and I used pretty much all of the brushes except 2 of them. I think this is a stellar brush set. How exciting that she got to create a brush set with Sigma. Sigma is basically my favorite brush brand. There's a few other brands, of course, that I love, like Singe Beauty, which is my friend Angie's brand, but I've definitely been using Sigma brushes for quite some time. I will say I was not able to afford them when I first started out on YouTube, but I've slowly built up my collection, and I'm so grateful because they've sent me a lot of brushes. But I basically went through my eyeshadow brushes a while ago and basically picked out all my favorites, and a majority of my favorite brushes are Sigma brushes, so these are going to be a fun addition to my collection. These look absolutely beautiful, and I'm familiar with a lot of these shapes. I think they already have some of these shapes in their lineup, so they're just named different things, but either which way, I could never have too many Sigma brushes, so I'm super excited about that. I can't remember how much these retail for, but they're already available, so I will link them down below with my discount code for you guys. And then, of course, I didn't use this palette today, but I want to give a shout out to Angela Bright's eyeshadow palette in case you were wanting to pick this up. It looks like this, and I know I did a video with this back in the day when it launched, so if I can find it, I'll link it for you guys, but otherwise you can just search my YouTube channel and find it. And then let's talk about the eyeshadow palette really quickly. So I don't think this is a complete palette by any means. I feel like you can definitely do looks like this with it, but it's more a companion palette. But I think that if you are thinking of this as a whole, like when I showed you the first palette they came out with, I feel like you can see where she's going with this. So first we did a full shimmer palette, and now we are adding different matte and shimmer options. So I think this is going to be a really fun collection as it grows. I think this is a little bit of a standout product in the market right now. I'm thinking of the Buxom palettes. I don't know if you guys remember those, but back in the day, you could go to Sephora and pick out different shades and put them in like a 5-pan palette from Buxom. So that's kind of what this reminds me of, but this is way more innovative because it's a lot more compact and a lot less clunky. So I really like the thought process here. I think that we definitely will see more mattes in the future because I feel like to have a well-rounded eyeshadow palette, you do need to have some matte options. So I'm excited about that. But I also think that if you like colors like this, or you need something really compact and easy, you can easily put these two shades, like this one on the lid, this one on the crease, and create a really beautiful neutral look. So lots of fun options, and you guys have to let me know in the comments if you have the original palette. Did you buy this one, or did you only get this one? I'm nosy, so I need to know what you think about these Danessa Myricks palettes. I remember when I did a video with the original one, I saw so many people commenting about how cool the packaging was and how much you love that concept. It's pricey though, but like I said, with these tariffs, you guys, I don't know what's happening. So I almost feel like you gotta buy the makeup while you can afford it, but I also know that things could change. So who knows, who knows? I don't want to spread misinformation. I really am not up on what's going on with it, except it feels like things are just getting really expensive. And I will definitely be treasuring these palettes in my collection because they are so fun. And then let's talk about the lip product really quick. Now, I think this is a really pretty lip balm, but I just cannot justify the price point of this. It's so pricey, $42. I do feel like I will use this a lot more than the blushes. I just tend to reapply lip balm way more than I would a blush. So I probably will get more use out of this just thinking of my everyday life. But I also think that I have a ton of other lip balms that feel just as good. And so I don't think you need this, but I just wanted one. I just wanted one just to feel bougie for a day, you know what I mean? And then as far as the blushes go, this one I feel like, honestly, it's a little light. I should probably take this back. I just was so hopeful that it would show up on my skin tone, but I think this is just not for me. So color-wise, it's not my favorite. It has a beautiful sheen to it. Other than that, I don't have much of an opinion. I'm super pumped about this. This is really cool. I wish they had more neutral colors. I know they had the shade Rosewood, but I don't really like a rosy blush. So I wanted to get Cherry because I prefer like a red blush. So that's why I got the shade. But I wish they had more color options. So unless there's a shade you really love, I would say steer clear. Save your money. You don't need this formula in your life. I just wanted to test it out. And then I think if there was one product other than the Angela Bright brushes, I would recommend this Benefit highlighter. I have definitely not been one to get on board with the Benefit highlighters. I know they've had the box highlighters go viral here and there. Like I feel like Benefit Cookie was like so famous. I, of course, thought that shade was not going to work for me, so I never got it, but this is really pretty. I think this is a fun highlighter. Reminds me of the highlighters that were super hyped in like 2018, or really makes me think of Champagne Pop, which honestly I can't remember when Champagne Pop launched. But yeah, it's definitely a bit of a throwback shade. But overall, I had a lot of fun playing with everything in this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I will link everything I can in the description box and of course on YouTube Shop as well. So if you want to pick anything up, you can do that through the YouTube app or through my links, and most of those links are commissionable, so I will make a small kickback, and I really appreciate anytime you guys shop through my links. If you have any other questions, if I didn't cover anything in depth enough, let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to get back to you guys. I hope you're having a fabulous day, whatever you're up to. And if you missed my new makeup releases video for the week, it's already up. So I will link it for you guys to check out, and you'll see more makeup news and what's coming this week in new makeup releases. So I hope you get a chance to check that video out, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye, friends!